What's going on, everybody? This is Intelligent coming at you live from the heart of it all in Ohio.
Hey, and I am the ghost with the most, the best of the evening, the blind MC from ALB. That's 518 Albany, New York. What's happening?
Hi. For anyone that isn't familiar with who that is, that's my man Peasy, aka Mr. Jai Guns. I appreciate you joining me tonight, man.
Hey, it's always a pleasure to be on the vibe show. Appreciate
Hey,
you for inviting me
absolutely, man. It's an honor having you on the show. So, hey, before we get into all the music and stuff, what you got going on outside of the vibe check world?
in. Shoot, as a artist and still doing things in the music biz. Where we just spreading it out. The show, still doing the PZ show, we still stretching that out. We kind of went back to Instagram with the roots and everything due to the device change and everything. So until we get a new device to stream on, the other three platforms we were on, we're kind of back to the old school ways. So we do kicking off on Instagram. But other than that, we just, tuning in, staying down on the music, trying to get some things set up here in the local area to work on like new shows, new events, venues, and stuff like that. So get a bigger buzz going for the name, that type of thing. So, you know,
Yeah.
nothing too strange, nothing too out of the usual.
Man, I know you stay busy when it comes to your shows. What all
Oh
days do
yeah.
you tend to have your shows and what time do they air?
Oh yeah. So the PZ show, we changed a few things in on Instagram as far as like the name. The name was one of the big things we did. So we changed the name so that everybody can find us. The PZ dot show is the IG handle. We go on every night, Monday through Saturday now. So it's really, really like, strongly at 7 o'clock, whereas example is 7 o'clock that's on Saturdays. It's usually only about 30 minutes. Unless we get a actual rotation of people that come in, because that is particularly the Saturday night cipher segment. So I told everybody I go in and come on for like 30 minutes. Usually we come on for about an hour every night. That's 7 p.m. Eastern. So Monday through Fridays, that's solid hours, a solid hour each episode. And then Saturdays is pretty much 30 minutes, unless we have a crowd or at least a few participants to get into the cipher. Because other than that, I can go back to working on music.
Yeah.
Providing new songs.
Hey, and that's the main reason we're here tonight is the music. So we'll get into that here in just a moment. What's good, Madman? We got Madman over in the chat right
What
now.
up,
Appreciate you
Madman?
coming in.
Yeah,
Uh, per-
downstate.
yeah, I think a little sneak peek teaser. I'm pretty sure we got one of your tracks lined up for later in the show tonight. So
Yo,
we should be able to get to that. But hey, Peasy, you ready to get to some music?
let's get it.
Awesome.
I feel like Eddie Guerrero. Let's go high flying.
Uh, it's I know tonight there's some tracks from artists that I hadn't heard until this week. Going through doing some digging, getting ready for the show. So I'm excited to go back, re-listen to some of these, and maybe introduce some people to some artists they haven't heard as well.
Hey,
Hey, with that said, we'll start this week with dude by the name of Sainted Fish, Sainted Fish.
mm.
Sainted Fish featuring The Blonde, Blonn, with a track they did called Chasing Love.
Chasing your love, just want to touch and feel you. I don't wanna hate you, yeah, but you looking great.
Chasing your love, just wanna touch, hoping that you give me some. Chasing your love, just for a touch, hoping that you'll give me some. Chasing your love, just for a touch, hoping that you'll give me some. Chasing your love, just for a touch. I'm just hoping you'll take me back, please. I can stand it when we are apart. You know your love is the one I wanted from the start. And everything that I want, it involves you, so let's start. I've been chasing your love, just want a touch, hoping you will give me some. Chasing your love, just want a touch, hoping you will give me some. Treating you like the prince and I'm the queen. If you wanna know just how I feel, I'm gonna give it all to you for free. Oh, chasing your love, just wanna touch, hoping you will give me some. Chasing your love, just wanna touch, hoping you will give me some of your love. That's what I want.
I don't wanna hate, I don't wanna hate. Baby, I don't wanna play. No, I don't want to hate. Your heart I won't play. Say you looking great every day. I love the way sun shines on your face. I'm floating in space. I love to try to chase. It's not too late. Please won't you stay? I don't want to hate. I don't wanna hate. No more than a day. So far away. So far away. Just a day. Far away. Please won't you stay? I hope you stay. I love the way the sun shines on the way sun shines on your face. So let's change your love and try to change. It's not too late. Please won't you stay? Please won't you stay?
There it is, Sainted Fish and the Blonde, Chasing Love.
Okay. Well, um, I like the chorus. It's definitely feeling. Um, it did get a little repetitive by the second time around, but I actually I like the the match between the two. I think the second verse is kind of where I lost a little bit more interest out of the song itself as the overall view. But it was a good effort. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate the sound. It was definitely something different. Wasn't something that I was used to or expecting at all. So, yeah, keep working. You guys are doing some things together.
Yep. Yeah, I agree with everything you said there. I'm gonna start with that beat. I really like that beat. It's sort of
Hmm.
just a mellow, chill, hoppy instrumental. Like a happy beat, I guess.
Yeah.
But so I like what they did there with that concept. Even I was cool
Hmm.
with that. I think the intro leading up into the blonde's part was pretty cool. I liked what she did there, coming in, singing.
Hmm.
Um, I can't sing for shit. I'm gonna start by saying that. So for me to critique a singer is a little out of my rights, but I'm gonna do it anyways. There's a few
Right.
spots, I would have liked to maybe hear the octave go up a little bit more, just a little variation there. But
Hmm.
I mean, the voice I thought was great on that. Going back into Sainted Fish's part after the blonde,
Hmm.
I felt like there was a lot going on when it comes to those layers.
Yeah.
Um,
I think that was what lost my interest too, because he kind of had like a halftime version going, and then he was really like trying to keep up with the bass line, which was basically two different levels and two different speeds going at the same time, and it wasn't meshing well. That
yeah,
was just what it was for me. I heard everything. It was just like I said. It was just didn't seem like it was making the cut like I was expecting it to on
yeah. So I think with the way that was written, it could have been pulled off more successfully. Say maybe of course that was two parts written together.
that part.
Maybe if the blonde spit one of those parts, while Sainted
Now
Fish spit
there,
the other part, get sort of that difference in the voice, difference in the tone.
right?
It might have popped out a little better. Whereas with just having him doing both of those parts at the same time, it just sort of muddied the waters. Um,
Yeah.
but not a bad track. I mean, it was enjoyable. It made the cut to open up the show tonight. So
Hey,
And that's two artists I wasn't familiar with up until prepping for the show this week. So I got them on my list now.
definitely, definitely.
Cool. All right, let's keep rolling with some music. Um, Next up, we're gonna bring in NFA Cho with a track titled "Old Times." Real quick before we get into that though, what's good, JoJo or the Dojo?
Hey,
Got him
the
over in the chat.
dojo
Can't forget to give you your shout out, man. So, what's up? Appreciate you joining as always, man.
for sure.
All right, now we'll get back to it. NFA Cho, track titled "Old Times."
NFA and who?
Classy.
We used to hit the corner store buying candy cigarettes, but now we buy Swisher Sweets, praying to God that we can smoke this pain away. Yesterday, today, no tomorrow. Just ain't the day, cause I be damned if one of you niggas come around trying to play. Cause I'ma up that bitch and spray. Can you tell me how you want it? 2, 2, 3, 5, 5, 6, and 9 millions in your stomach. This shit right here hard on me. Can't show no love at all. I remember days I was broke, I couldn't afford the bar, but now it's on to better things. Yeah. But if you play, you late. I've been chasing for years, just trying to make a way. I fucked around, had a son. Although I wanted a daughter, can't tell no stories to my G. He gon' hear it all from the author. I got a simple message, and it comes straight from the heart. When you believe in yourself, see that's the place to start. Wish I could rewind the hands of time, allow this shit to be different, but I can't do that. So we gon' keep clutching glizzes, I say. It's a simple message, and it's coming from the heart. When you believe in yourself, that's the place to start. Hey, we gon' up them sticks at the ops trying to play. We up them sticks. Fuck a ski mask, we gon' walk his ass down today. Go walk him down. Fuck the whip, watch how we hop out, shoot on foot. That shit for sure. And catch somebody's together. Where's the love? It ain't no love out here. I'm steady screaming, Father, Father, Father. Don't play like you can't hear me now. Don't play like you can't hear me now. Don't act like you don't hear your boy screaming out. Trying to get back right with you. Try to repent, but these demons keep on coming back to me. I go to hell sometimes to visit them and get them raw. And every time I do, it seem like this shit here get hard. It ain't no love, but we don't care. Why would we care? Envy in the air. Oh, look at that. Hey, look at that. Truth for that. Don't care for theirs. Just tell the truth when I need you. You ain't gonna be there. In Joey Trust, forever and always. I'm steady screaming, Father, Father, Father. Don't play like you don't hear me now. Don't act like you don't hear your boy.
There it is, NFA Cho, track titled "Old Times."
Mm, okay. I was gonna say I'll let you. I think I'll let you go first on
All right. Yep. So that I said DZ selected that one. By the way, DZ had some other things going on tonight, so he's not joining us as of now. He may hop in at some point, but
that. Mm-hmm.
so DZ selected that track. That's the first time I heard it. Um, so I'm that track's got sort of that modern style that a lot of people are hitting. Um,
Agreed.
but when it comes to the content and the concept of the track, I like it. I think there was a good
Mm,
message to be heard there. And when it comes to that style, he pulled it off successfully. Um,
yeah, yeah.
when it
I
comes
heard I
to
caught a reference in there too in the early verse that he dropped on this track that I was like, oh wow, he used that. I didn't think he could pull that off. That was a nice way to flip that part.
is it,
It was I can't remember
is
the
it
particular
the Arthur theme
original.
song?
Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah,
I was gonna say like I knew it was something that I recognized. And I was like, wow, I remember that. I just couldn't remember where I remembered it from. So I was like, oh crap, it just hit me and I was like, damn, it's whatever it was something from like way back when I was a kid. So I remember it. I know it's definitely something classic.
yeah,
So yeah,
yeah.
it definitely speaks to that back in the days reference.
Yep, and it's I think that goes along with his message too. You know that I say, hey, what a wonderful time of day.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't remember exactly which part of it he hit there, but it definitely
Mm-hmm.
tied into the theme. And it was clever how he pulled that off on there. So
Yeah.
definitely enjoyed that. When it comes to the mix, I think that it could have been a little cleaner. To me, that sounded like he's doing like a one take through most of it,
Mm-hmm.
minimal editing when it comes to taking out some of those spots between like words or whatever. I know I go through on my shit, like I'll take out breaths, all kinds of
Right.
stuff when it comes to the final edit. So it could have been a little bit crisper, but definitely not a bad track by any means. Um,
I can agree with you there. I mean, like I said, yeah, it definitely is. Like you were saying earlier, one of those modern day fits. Um, you know, not particularly something I would gravitate to more, but I definitely liked a lot of the references he used. He was talking about how things change. He goes, he's dealing with his demons. Alvin has to, feel like he's fighting and trying to, teach his kid the right way to go about it. I understand that, you know what I'm saying, because it's a struggle to do that all the time, every day. So much
yeah,
respect on that level, and I kind of and I caught that. So I mean, because I was able to understand that, and it didn't sound like your typical muffled rap. I was just like, all right, I could vibe to this. Plus, the beat was real nice. Um, he had some really good messages to go along with it. So, not a bad track at all. Definitely.
yeah. Yep, and I mean, everything was articulated well, properly. So
Yeah.
I got nothing negative to say on that at all. So, yeah, not a bad one. All right, let's keep rolling though. Next up, we're going to bring in Day Day O2 with a track
Mm.
titled "Gone," and it's tagged. The beat was by at Purple. So Day Day O2 Gone.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah. Never be a bitch, nigga. Never lose my mind to the money for a bitch, nigga. Never sell my soul just to get richer. Why you probably see a nigga broke selling coke, nigga? A go get it, he don't give me mine, I'ma go get him. Plus my flow wetter than ocean flow, nigga. Ahead of my time, my flow don't win on passing overlap, you niggas. Yeah. I'm gone home, mama told me when you hit the billies, you gon' be so cold. But I gotta go on, I ain't tryna live here in this shithole. I ain't really been feeling this no more. PTSD got me hitting that gas till it feel like the whole ground moving in slow mo. When I get on, I'm gone. I could get by on my own on the low low. Let me know, is you ready to ride? Cause y'all these niggas out here hating like they want me to die. Fuck a backhanded compliment. Don't need your false sense of confidence. A part of the mix. I be like, pardon me, miss. I know that you man, but I think a part of you bitch. Taking shots cause he thought I'm a miss. With one hit, make his particles split. Crack his medulla, lobotomy shit. I'm gone. My mama told me when you hit the babies, you gon' be so cold. But I gotta go on. I ain't tryna live here in this shithole. I ain't really been feeling this no more. PTSD got me hitting that gas till it feel like the whole ground moving in slow mo. When I get on, I'm gone. I can get by on my own on the low low. Big problem, the six bottom, blow his wig off, no big mom. We get even by so a bitch wanna leave him lumped up like Tommy. Did Martin, the shit started, he get slaughtered. Getting mad cause your bitch started. Off a beam and she get sloppy. Too mean and I'm too cocky. You team up and still body. Bruce Lee with the skill probably. I'm gone. My mama told me when you hit the big leagues, you gon' be so cold. But I gotta go on. I ain't tryna live here in this shithole. I ain't really been feeling this no more. PTSD got me smoking that gas till it feel like the whole world moving in slow mo. When I get on, I'm gone. I can get by on my own on the low low.
Ooh,
Day Day O2 track titled "Gone."
all right. Well, I know one of the big things that he was telling was like always filling those gaps. But definitely another one of those modern day tracks. Um, Day is not a bad artist, man. I kind of really like dig where he goes with certain track because it's not something that I would have, direction I would have made or the move I would have made as far as production or producing the creativity track like the ones he comes up with. But it's definitely unique in its own way. So respect to Day Day for doing what he do. Um, for that, I mean, and taking the opportunity to show that skill set. So um, on the track, uh, I don't know. For some reason, I think it was a little something that I kind of had a hard time keeping up with. I mean, I get the premise, I get the title, the objective for your title and everything, but I think I might have got lost maybe because I was thinking about my original one of my songs that I made that was titled "Gone," so it kind of threw me off. And then when the subject matter didn't line up to that of what I thought of when I came out with a title like that, I was just like, oh, okay, different lane, different direction, but all in all, to me, like I said, I like the production. I like the way he goes about his track, but not uh, I got lost probably about midway through the whole song.
Yeah. So yeah, it's I think production wise, it was fairly well done. You know,
Mm,
the mix was clean, or clean enough. Definitely could have been better, but knowing a lot of what comes out of the Rap Chat camp, that's upper tier. You know.
yeah, definitely.
So mix wise wasn't hateful. There really wasn't a whole lot that stood out to me on that track. Nothing that
No,
really caught my attention, that would make me want to put that song on replay. But not a bad track. Um,
no,
so there's a few spots in the beginning where it almost seemed like he was sort of switching stuff up, trying to find that rhythm or that groove to sort of ride in.
ride it out.
Yep, and then like he hit that groove, played with it all the way through. So not a bad track. Again, not one that I
No,
would put on repeat, but um, yeah, that's about what I got to say on that one. So,
I can agree 100%.
all right, so we'll keep rolling here. I thought I screwed up for a minute when I went to do that quick transition back over to us on the screen. I actually closed out of my other browser, which had all the tracks loaded up in it.
Right.
Thankfully, with modern technology, I was able to reopen a browser and pull up all the closed tabs. So,
Ah,
right back where we were. So, thank you, technology.
right.
But
Hey now.
all right, next up though, we've got Key Youngin with a track simply titled Key.
Damn, I love 5800. I want to meet them so bad.
That boy $10 go. So many niggas wanna be like Keith, some niggas wanna have my swag, yo. I'm in the Z6 cool tryna do this shit, they play some tag, yo. I'm in the drop top, niggas can't catch me, let's play tag, yo. I'm in the new mobile, a bitch in the front, she know she bad, some niggas wanna be like me, some niggas wanna be like Keith, some niggas wanna pop a street, yo bitch want sex on the beach. I'm in this whip, I'm going too fast, I cannot your lick. I fuck that bitch one time, I hit the dash, bitch do not call me. I'm in that fucking Hellcat, gun from A to Z. Can't count that high many bitches that want some key. These niggas be talking, be chatting, these niggas be pushing. I swear they work for me. I got a big old chopper, a big old Glock, that big kid like Rock Lee. I might fuck your hoe and give her the best. Shawty grab the sheet, these bitch be blowing my phone. They swear to be chatting, but these hoes some freaks. I'm in that big body, you in that knee, so niggas can't even compete. The shawty wanna cut to the crib, she wanna fuck, but I told her pay the lease. We blitz, I'm a calorie. You talk about that Hesse energy. She say she want LOV. But fuck that bitch, I don't need nobody. It hit like Rocky, you know I'm hot, like wasabi. When the time is white on car, and finesse a car, not me. So many niggas wanna be like Kiss on me, wanna have my swag, yo. I'm in the Z6 cool, trying to do this shit, let's play some tag, yo. I'm in the drops off, niggas can't catch me, let's play tag, yo. I'm in the new mobile, a bitch in the front, she know she bad, yo. Some niggas wanna be like me, some niggas wanna be like Key, some niggas wanna pop a street, yo bitch want sex on the beach. I'm in this whip, I'm going too fast, I cannot troll it. I fuck that bitch one time, I hit the dash, bitch do not call me.
So it was Key Youngin, track titled Key.
Mm.
Man, I'll start off on this one. So personally, I wasn't a big fan of that myself.
No.
I think that style is way overdone. Too many people hitting that same cadence, that same beat style, putting that auto tune on there. To me, there's nothing original about that one. It's just someone doing that same thing that next person's doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I really wasn't a big fan of that one.
I mean, my sentiments exactly when it comes to that because I literally was like, it's like only thing I kept getting was like I started thinking about my little brother when I heard this song. I was like, God damn it! I hope he doesn't get stuck like this. Because it's like I kept thinking it's like yo, my little brother he kind of raps too, so he has this thing where a lot of his songs sound like the same premise, the same subject, same topic. I was like, I've been in that phase. I was there with you for a minute, when I was your age. So, hopefully you'll start to think like, when as you get older, maybe, you produce a couple of songs that eventually you'll get tired of yourself sounding like that. And you'll want to hear something come out of your camp differently. So but yeah, like that nothing really stood out to me as far as that either. And I like the production behind the actual beat more than I did the song in its entirety. So
Yeah.
that was my takeaway from it. And nothing away from the artist himself. I'm pretty sure the young man got a lot more to say with his work, but kind of put that into the work too.
Yeah. So Jojo over there said they were all really sounding the same tonight. Amlu said, I agree. I'm right there with you. So, but with that said, I do know some of these other tracks that we have coming up are definitely a little different in the style. So,
Well,
uh,
yeah.
let's
I mean, Madman will definitely switch it up for us. I know, because I mean, good grief, is we. I mean, if any of you guys that are in the rap chat circle know anything about Madman, he can bring it to a whole
yeah,
new
let's
level.
let's save that until we get to the Madman track. We'll talk about that
Yeah,
then. So,
for
next
sure.
up though, I'm gonna bring in someone we haven't had on the show in quite some time. But bringing back in the girl Ria Re-Up with the track she
Hmm.
did titled "With All Due Respect."
All due respect, stay with it, take. He be all made, but it bitch be all way. Show some respect when you say my name. It's worth in the wayside. All due respect, stay with it, tick. He be all mad, but it bitch be all wet. Ho come correct, when you say my name, better show some respect. I trip like T-Rex, that's work from the west side. Swiping the west side, west side. That's on God, do your job. All that mouth, get you robbed. I'm really like that, how I really crash out. How the fuck is you hard staying on your mama couch? I send them up to God, just running out of mouth. On the west side of town, that ain't shit to talk about. Cause bitch, I do it best, and I put that on the set. If it's really going down, I be riding with that tech. You know I ain't going, that's just what I'm knowing. You the type to cry when they got your ass in holding. Oh, this ain't survivor, but you ain't make it through it. You shooting with a derringer, I think he Cupid. What the fuck is you stupid? Dumb ass shit. Rolling. All the respect, stay with it, take. He be your mate, but it bitch be your way. Show some respect when you say my name. That's rapping away. Side. All due respect, stay with a tick. He be all mad, but it bitch be all wet. Ho come correct. When you say my name, better show some respect. I trip like Tourette's, that's word from the west side. Bitch, swiping the west side, west side.
I'm gonna go ahead and fade that out. That is an open collab on Rap Chat, by the way. Saw she had a few artists that have already hopped on that. I wanted to hit just her part on that one though. So and then let that beat right out a little bit because, as JoJo said, that beat's hard.
Yeah.
Definitely like that. I'm a sucker for piano instrumentals. It's got sort of that dark feel to it, so big fan of that.
Most of
And then Rhea, man, she's a talented artist for sure. She's been featured on the show a few times.
I
Love
can
what she
respect
does.
that. I definitely
So
can respect that flow for real. It's got sort of this. It's like a mixture between. I don't know if y'all are familiar with what the hell is her name? Desi, not Desi, but what the hell is her name? Okay, there's like a mixture there between Janae Aiko and the girl that kind of gave you my body on your body, baby. I'm at the nigga body. I can't remember her name though, but she's from Chicago, so like she, two completely different, genres. One R&B style, the other one's, like Chicago West Coast flow, or Midwest flow. But you know, but the vocals that she projected in this project, particularly, you know what I mean, where she played around with both sides of that coin. Because one thing about the artist from Chicago, I'm trying to think of her name, I can't get her name out, but her rap style is big bars, big bars, big bars, a lot of flow, and a harmony that almost mimics that of Janae Aiko flow when it comes to singing on the R&B side. So very, very articulate. Not a lot of artists that can pull that off. Kudos to her for that. Plus, she's really got that thuggin' beat kind of like flow to her. So I like that real rough around the edges feel when you hear that track, when you hear her style. That's real nice to her. Then she's got a really good beat selection. So I mean, all of that combined together is a really good dope track. I'm fucking
yeah. Yep. So I think you nailed it on the head with all that. Definitely a well-rounded production. You know, from the instrumental selection to, like you said, the way she hit those two different styles there. I thought the
with it.
transitions were smooth between the two styles. Sort of interested when she came back to that hook for the second time, how she was going to
Hmm.
transition back into that. Thought she pulled that off very successfully.
It was
And
nice and
she's
smooth,
yeah, and she's got that
almost seamless.
yeah, she's got that rough and raw style when it comes to the lyrics she's putting out there. Delivery is
Right.
on point. I think she has a great voice, and overall, I think that was an amazing track. So
Mm.
one I would have no problem listening to again, and I'm gonna go back and take a listen to some of these other collabs that people hit on that. Just to
Okay.
see what, if any, sort of justice they did to it. So that's a big track to try to follow up on. So I know there's
For
plenty of people
sure.
out there that can do that with no problem, but again, I also know a lot of what comes out on this app. So when you put a track like that out for an open collab,
There's always two sides to that.
yeah,
There's the good side and then there's the not so good So I mean,
Yeah. So
we definitely know what to expect on that rap chat app. So much respect to every artist though out there, man. You know,
yeah,
we all got a dream and we all just want to see it come to life. You know, so
yeah. And it's I mean, with that said, I know what my tracks sounded like when I first started writing.
listen,
They
man,
were
I
no good.
agree. I
So
was just thinking to myself, like, man, I can remember what I was sounding like back in the day. So, you know, respect to everybody that's just coming into the music and just wanting to do something with it. You know, I give nothing but respect to them artists because it's a huge leap. It's a huge responsibility to, you know, just to accept something like that and take it seriously because there aren't many out there that are doing that. They accept the task, but they not taking it as serious as you want
yeah. Hey, all right, let's keep rolling. We're gonna go ahead and hit that Madman track I was talking
them
about.
to.
So next up is, of course, Madman with track titled "Have to Be," and he went ahead and tagged produced by Costfinger, Kosfinger. So let's see what "Have to Be" is all about.
Yeah, alright.
It's Cost Finger, baby.
You know. And the danger was so mad. Said I was living in all of my dread. Taking the levels that I couldn't see for the reasons that have to be. Yeah, we are crazy, yeah, we are bright. Over man, I made my flight. Push on, yeah, just like a bike in the middle of the night. The saints, they also dance. Made up boulders, get my stance. Made my pants, just watch my glance. If you wanna catch these hands. But a bitch is something that I've never been. I've seen some shit that's in between. I've lived a life that's full of skills, cause here's the thing. When we can do this and what we prove, yeah, I'ma lose it if I don't move you. Since the moment I've seen the vision, how the fuck was I gonna shoot? Push on forward, tell my story for these people to go hear. I've been grind for so many years, always kept my darkness near. I've been working, hustle, kept my head above the water's edge. Bending levels to go see what I have got in store instead. You can't see the smoke that's here, but bitch, don't aim it at your head. With the dots that were raised, amongst the dead, like I said, shit's a mess. So this time we're pressing show. All this money, it falls to the flow. Even the shuffles and everything controls. Yeah, we can prove it, you already know. What have I done to go flex on these tracks? Welcome to haters, but welcome to wax. And the time that I've been showing my skill, yeah, I've been killing it all, it's a fact. No, you cannot tell me this ain't a hit. When I be blowing the gas of the pit, yo, you be seeing me spinning the rounds like a revolver, I'm jammed in the pit. Life ain't rare, than just a game. Yeah, I've been doing it all the same. Made a brand, I made a name. But it's time we seal my fame. Touchdown, they be singing anthems together, but we are more than family. We're better. You see the progress that we made. Taking industry over, we carving out these slates. Waving fire is a sign of the grace, breaking the bones out my lane. The danger was so mad, said I was living in all of my drag, taking the levels that I couldn't see for the reasons that have to be. Yeah, we are crazy, yeah, we are bright. Over man, I made my flight. Push on, yeah, just like a bike in the middle of the night.
It is Madman 420, track titled "Have to Be."
like I said, he's always high impact on the tracks. He definitely is one of those artists that you can tell works with a structure when it comes to the articulation of his words down to the production and sound quality of beats that he's choosing. So one that's one thing I can definitely respect about Madman's you know positioning in the rap chat era and of music there. Um, this track particularly, I like the vibe mostly behind the production as well because of it being a reflection and a recreation of an older track from not too long ago. Really, it's probably about what like about a good 5 years ago. I think that song, the original song from this sample that he pulled off that beat was made from. But good way to carry it on and keep it moving, bring it into a drill format, and not really big on the drill beats, drill trap track songs and stuff. But man, you got such a like unique vocal stat, like when it comes to rapping and how you're your raspiness to the track just really brings a whole new level of the song. So like I like how you carried it. You know what I mean? Um, Not my favorite because I've heard you come with a dope with way harder. Um, Even with that, you know what I mean? That jab, that haymaker punch to the gut type of shit. But you know, definitely a dope track. I would listen to it again. Um, yeah.
Yeah, so with Madman, you always know it's going to be high energy right off the bat.
Hmm.
I mean that name carries that with it, and the style he's consistent for sure when it comes to every track he puts out. You know when you hear the name Madman, you know what to expect coming in. I do like what he did with that beat selection. I thought it was very fitting for his style, the way he does that.
Hmm.
It's a high energy, upbeat instrumental. Sort of had that. Almost had like that dub club fusion feel to it. And that
Yeah.
that grimy bass, that dub, as well as that like poots, poots, when it comes to the drums. So I thought that was good.
Hmm.
It was fitting for that. And then um, Madman tends to run through with the same cadence all throughout a track without switching it up a whole lot. That one,
Hmm.
lyric wise, he said something about touchdown, went on from there and switched up his cadence, slowed it down a little bit, hit the
Yeah.
rhythm a little different. I like that he did that. So broke up
It's
sort of the
very. It
monotony of
was
that.
that was
And
the difference. Yeah, because I just realized that too, and I was like, wow, wait a minute. Yeah, he did do
yeah, yep. So I definitely like that he added that one on there. Continue doing that stuff, man. But yeah, not a bad track. And of course, he's his voice is very distinguishable. You know
that.
exactly who it
Hmm.
is as soon as he comes in. And I'll agree with what you said when it comes to Madman tracks. That's not my top favorite. Definitely a good track from him. I think it's gonna be hard to beat my personal favorite from him, and that's the one he did with Candy Lady. Uh,
Oh
so I mean,
yeah,
they just came in both from mad
high
energy.
velocity. They
Yeah,
went
so
mad energy on
that
that. I
I
liked
think
it.
I think that one was nuts. So either way,
Yeah,
Madman's always putting out constant fire tracks. So keep doing what
for
you're doing,
sure.
man. Um, all right, next up though, we will bring in the man Benny Royal, featuring Day Day. So Day Day's back in on this one, but this is Benny Royal and Day Day with the track I think they just dropped, titled Pin Game.
Mm.
Take one, take one. I'm so muy caliente, the boy don't bow to sensei. I kick it like habits that don't allow me to keep my head straight. Snap on him like it's endgame. As soon as I hit the card, I release the art and then I go full display with the pen game. Back for the win, and I'm so comfortable under your skin. I could probably nap in the rib, but the pop your bubble like the middle of the lid. Hey man, you sound like Jim. Aw man, goddamn, just itty bitty bit. If you're really getting into it, I'm a spy better kid. I ain't from Flint, so B and U Tango, we setting fire to this bitch. Flint, B, U Tang, shit, y'all don't know how to produce flame. Quick, speed, Usain, but I always know I owed all the Wu Tang. Cause be a killer and the inspector, Royale Decker. How well you think that best protect your nut, huh? Flows, I switch it like light switches. I'm so fire, have your live stream looking like a muscle spasm. Other words, I like twitches. My chick got so much attitude, my therapist told me that I like bitches. What the fuck is she acting like she hate me for? What the fuck am I even paying you for? Uncaging the force, I should be active on the radio like I'm an agent of orange, but I'm blue in the face like the range on a course. They all want help for some success, but they hate when it's yours. They all want help for some success, but they hate when it's yours.
With the pen, I'm a beast. Pick up the pattern that venom release. Sick of the fads, I'ma pick up and feast. All of these niggas, they under me. I tell them underlay. My reign is underway. Competition, leave them underway. Very gone dead, then I'm on my way. Sever arms, legs. Fuck a armor plate. I light them up. Walking water, got God's toes. I acquire singing them gospels. I'll have you going where God go. How you plot sinking like potholes. Got night vision, no goggles. I hit the gas, no throttle. I am back on my bullshit. They say a hungry nigga ain't nothing to fool with. I bet that fool be full when he get a full clip. Yeah. I'm violent.com. I got napalm strapped to my palm. It's day on with the ray gun. I spray them. I do hits like Pappy Mason. Back to the don't button. I'm back to the show. Don't make rock pack up your bro whips. There go tagging your toe. I'm in my bad little bro. Ain't no. I'm back to the boy west side. Get fucked up. One time for you dumb fucks. Send shots. I'm turned up. Spit a blast. We burn some. Tell your girl how similar to the worst one. My soul I own. Your soul you rented it. Poor soul you a gimmick bitch. Good luck. I'ma knock on wood, something like Jehovah Witnesses. I'ma fold you, I'll finish him. I'm a soldier, you citizen. I am so progressive, made hoes out of mini men. You slander God, I move in silence like Panama. You mention my name in raps, cause you a fan of mine. Dede.
Benny Royal and Day Day track Pin Game.
Yeah. There's one thing I can definitely say about Benny. Benny, he's just always punching at that hole. He's punching at that gap, man. He's like, yo, listen, I'm not gonna stop with one style. I'm not gonna just rap to you. I'm gonna talk to you. I'm gonna break this shit down. I'm gonna make love to this beat behind your back, and you ain't gonna, or in your face, as a matter of fact. And just you gonna have to accept it or not. I can respect that because that's how you're supposed to do. Give it all you got. You know what I mean? And he definitely put us some work on that. I like his introduction to the track, and then Day Day with the follow up. Now that was something that I noticed that was very very transitional. The transition between the two was very seamless. You almost didn't tell that you couldn't tell almost that Benny stopped rapping and Day Day came in for a second, and then until it kind of picked up and he was going into his progression stages with Day Day, was when you started to notice that it was another artist on the tap. So like shout out to Day Day and Benny on that one. The combination was definitely there. Um, Lot more energy from Day Day there than the following track behind it from him today. But yo, that the completion of that all together, definitely CYB and Royal and Day Day got that operation going right there with that. That was a perfect setup. Good penmanship, and the metaphors and bars was hitting all of it in repetition to what the title track was even. You know what I mean? Fluctuating too. So I like that. I like that. Staying on task.
Yeah, so Benny Royal's another one of those artists where every track I hear from him, I know it's going to be a fire track. And like you said, he's constantly switching up the styles too. So
Yeah.
whereas I know the level of penmanship that he's going to bring, I don't know how he's going to present it ever. So it's sort of got
Nope.
that wild card aspect, like what the fuck's Benny going to do this time? And he never
Yeah.
ceases to amaze. It's never disappointing when he presents. So love what Benny does there. Like you said, there's so many switch ups there, like he's coming in, hitting fast syllables and coming back talking to you. And even after he was talking, when he came back into the verse, if you want to call it that,
Mhm.
his rhyme scheme was playing off of what he was talking about, like
Right.
so even the speaking aspect of it was still tied in right there with the rest of the verse, which I thought was clever. Um,
Very.
and then Day Day coming in, just trying to match with that cadence and energy that Benny pulled off. I thought was definitely nice. A lot higher energy than the previous track that we had from him tonight, which you had
Mhm.
mentioned as well. And then it seemed like there's a few times where he sort of fell off back into his own lane, but then it was almost like something clicked, like, oh shit, yeah, I'm on a Benny track. Came right back in, brought the energy
Yeah,
level back.
yeah, you're right. You're
So
right.
that's
I heard that too.
that was pretty slick. Definitely enjoyed what both those guys did there.
Definitely.
Towards the end of Day Day's verse, my interest level sort of fell off a little bit, but
Mhm.
I mean, definitely a fire track either way. So I like what both those dudes did there. And of course, Benny, I'm sure will be on the show time and time again when it comes to tracks. And with that said, Dede, I'm sure he will as well. I think he
Yeah.
I think he's the only artist this week that's getting a double feature. So, good job, Day
Mm,
Day. Awesome job, Benny.
most
Both you guys
deaf,
killed that shit. So,
most deaf.
all right, we got a few tracks left to go. Next up, all right. So this track, when I came across it, got me amped up. This is a style I definitely enjoy. So we'll get into that after we hear the track, though. But this is by A Stizzy, A underscore Stizzy, and this is "Automatic to Your Jaw" Part Three, Playboy Mac and Cinero. Let's see what it's all about.
Good.
So you hold it like this and pull the trigger.
Pow, punk ass.
Automatic to your jaw. Put the pistol whip a nigga, fuck the law. Hear the sound of a nine go off. Your bitch get caught. Different weapons to a pussy nigga jaw. And I'ma leave him in the car and set it off. Automatic to your jaw. About 6, 7 hollers to your dog. Bitch nigga, you can die. Fuck you dog. Hold watch when you walk. While I run up on the nigga with the dog. Got me hopping like a motherfucking frog. Automatic to your jaw. Boom when it's try to move. Roy, you gotta break the premises. You better get a tool. Pull the bus and no discussion when I aim at your fool. Niggas on your fucking pistol single. Put you in the news. Outside of a bitch nigga. Hair leak ooze. I'll be always outside. What the fuck you wanna do? Ain't shit. Fucking crew up. Bitch shoot you up. Nigga, I'll be stepping with the longer quick bust. And I'm to the nothing with a couple of concussions busting. After the pistol, one to the concrete, nigga, I be so sick. I'm on the nigga, it be oh shit. Split this fucking noodles to the pistol, when I run up on the nigga, it's the first one with the sawed off shotgun. Busting the bullets up to the pump gun, while I'm killing anyone. Three in that bitch, nigga, long, I be busting for fun, stay on the run. With the time hit the pistol, whipping nigga, fucking off. Hear the sound of a nine go off. Your bitch get caught, different weapons to a pussy nigga jaw. I'ma leave him in the car and send it off. Automatic to your jaw. About 6, 7 hollers to your dog, bitch nigga, you can die, fuck you dog. Hold watch when you walk, while I run up on the nigga with the dog. Got me hopping like a motherfucking frog. Automatic to your jaw. With the pistol whipping nigga, fuck the law. Hear the sound of a nine go off. Your bitch get caught, different weapons to a pussy nigga jaw. I'ma leave him in the car and set it off. Automatic to your jaw. 6, 7 hollers, fuck your dog, bitch nigga, you can die, fuck your dog. Hold watch when you walk, while I run up on the nigga with the dog. Got me hopping like a motherfucking frog. Automatic to your jaw.
Automatic, I be busting for the static. For the niggas that be lacking. I ain't 21, but I'm a motherfucking savage. When these bullets get the blast, and I be all about the action. I'ma run away, never to the getaway. Burn up on my clothes. Poppin' Zanny, come back out, feeling good. Ready for another murder. Get the burner out the truck. I'm in the front yard with the automatic in the pump. Blade at the tip of the AK-47 going through a nigga neck while he laying on the stomach. Blood get the gushing while they hoes get the jumping when around. Niggas quiet, pussy, did you say something? Gotta fuck nigga talking like this. When I aim, shoot, but I won't miss. When these niggas got me pissed. Find a nigga when you fish. If I shoot it, I'ma switch. Automatic dismiss.
Automatic to your jaw. With the pistol whipping nigga, fuck the law. Hear the sound of a nine go off. Your bitch get caught, different weapons to a pussy nigga jaw. I'ma leave him in the car and set it off. Automatic to your jaw. About 6, 7 hollers, fuck your dog, bitch nigga, you can die, fuck your dog. Hold watch when you walk, while I run up on the nigga with the dog. Got me hopping like a motherfucking frog. Automatic to your jaw. With the pistol whipping nigga, fuck the law. Hear the sound of a nine go off. Your bitch get caught, different weapons to a pussy nigga jaw. I'ma leave him in the car and set it off. Automatic to your jaw. About 6, 7 hollers, fuck your dog, bitch nigga, you can die, fuck your dog. Hold watch when you walk, while I run up on the nigga with the dog. Got me hopping like a motherfucking frog. Automatic to your jaw. Automatic. Automatic to your jaw. Automatic to your jaw.
Man,
Whoa.
right? Man, where to start on that one? That whole track's nuts, man. That's
Yeah, most definitely.
that's my favorite style of music to listen to. You know, that's straight chopper.
Yeah,
Man,
all
I
the
got
way chop. I mean, it was chopping all the way through pretty much.
yeah.
That just really gave me like a Pope Pimp, do or die vibe, mixed with a Tech Nine and West Coast choppers kind of feel like all in one. I was like, oh snaps! I'm like, yeah. I definitely like the. I see why you draw interest myself. Like I can definitely tell. And I was thinking to myself as the song's playing, I was like, damn, why did I not hear this on Rap Chat already? I would have recognized this one. But nah, like good combination of them two artists right there. They definitely sound like they go in the studio frequently putting things together. Uh, if not, then they meshed really, really well together on this project right here, particularly. And it's just the vibe really got your attention. It brought back that old adrenaline rush cadence almost. You know what I mean? Shout out to Twister, but yeah, that definitely was the vibe I was getting.
Yeah. Yep. So I agree. Definitely had a lot of that twist in it. Um, we'll go back to the title real quick. So it was titled with what I believe was two artist names. The album art though made it seem like there's four people on it, which I could
Hmm.
see that as well. Just sort of listening for that. So I don't know whether it's two or four. I'm gonna go with four people, but either way, all whether it's two or four, every verse on there was killer. Like you said, it had that like that twisted vibe to it. It had like some early Bone Thugs. I heard
Thanks.
that last verse that came in right at the very end where dude was just real quick chopping it. Reminded me a little bit of Twisted Insane. I don't know if you're familiar with him, but
Yep,
he's
yep,
a
yep.
chopper coming straight off the West Coast. So definitely an awesome track. I got nothing bad to say about that one.
Not at
Uh,
all.
Again, that's a personally that's one of my favorite styles of music. That's what I've listened to coming up in the music industry. So love every part of that.
Oh yeah,
That's exactly what I would expect from a track like that. So
for
uh,
sure, for
awesome
sure.
work to all those guys.
I love a track where you're gonna hear that, you're gonna hear something like that, and then it's gonna be like, yo, I gotta hear that again. I gotta play that back because I wanted to hear that word. I just want to hear that part you said again. It gives you a reason to give it that playback. You know, it's
Yeah.
like,
Yep.
yeah,
And
definitely.
they had that titled as Automatic to Your Jaw Part 3. So that means there's more of
Mm,
them out there. So I will definitely be going back, checking out more of what they got going, and probably bringing it back onto the show at some point, probably sooner rather than later.
dope,
But
dope.
all right, well, we got two more tracks this week. Next up, we're gonna bring in the man Deezy. He just did a track with Leo Monte, Leo Monte Vivo One. Track titled "Want No Part of That."
Mm.
Actually, maybe not. For whatever reason, there's no play button popping up on my screen. So let me refresh this and see if we're bringing them in this week. We may not be. There we go.
Motherfuckers could never catch up to me. Might as well go stay next to that mayo. I just caught me a old school, same color as lemonade and yayo. Get the store on the east side, couple pack of games and the strawberry fago. Know exactly how we ride, bitch. It ain't a thing. Make these motherfuckers think so. Cooking this shit like this chef, I'ma tell you right now that the kitchen too hot for you. Flipping and ducking these haters, I'm moving, fuck going over all these obstacles. They wasn't ready for all of the sauce in my arsenal. Got my rice at the motherfucking carnival. Bought my green like some motherfucking artichoke. Sticking to this shit like a barnacle. Like I'm pot nigga, picture me rolling. Roll up blended so fat it is swollen. Oscar De La Hoya, bitch, I'm golden. So much money, it ain't even folding. Want a part of your scheming and plotting. You was snaking that shit, there is toxic. You was snaking that shit, there is toxic. I don't want no part of that. 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 I don't want no part of that.
Hey, we running this bitch. If she talking shit, we a plunging your bitch. Don't got no time to take numbers and shit. I'm too busy walking around with clips in the zip. Walk with a limp, might as well call me a pimp. I'm permanent, bitch, you a temp. I pull up with them, nigga, your pockets look limp. You need to get in the gym. I'm feeling like 50, I'm patty. Told your bitch to come give me the Becky and back of the Chevy and make sure it's heavy. All my niggas just trying to think of some new ways to get money like Ed, Ed, and Eddie. Told your bitch to go make me spaghetti, just make sure it's ready. I know niggas hate it, but it's my job to make these little niggas keep hating. But they don't want no part of that. Niggas catching heart attacks. Brand new gun is automatic. Tell that fuck nigga get back. Step in the party, she talking about Molly, but I don't do that, bitch. It's only by Molly. They know who it is, bitch. It's Leo Monte.
I don't want no part of that. 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 I don't want no part of that.
DZ and Leo Monte.
Mhm.
Want no part of that.
All right. So always, I fucking love DZ's tracks. DZ has such a way with selecting his beats that fall behind him, where they fit in so well that it's almost like a tailor suit. You know what I'm saying? So like when you hear the track, you could almost tell that this is just something. If it ain't a DZ on there, it's fit for DZ. You know what I'm saying? For him to ride, because he's one of the few artists that I've heard with such a sound that is just very unique, but it's basically unique because of how he uses his words and his tones. His tone in general has very recognizable and notable sound. So love that. And Leomonte, I remember when we first actually the first video clip you played on here from him. I didn't know what else to expect coming from his camp afterwards because it was a dope track, but I was, almost hoping that he wouldn't fall into that same general sense of his, main track that he came on with. But as I see, like he's, you know what I mean, he's getting his move, he's getting his groove going. You know what I'm saying? So I like the way he, switched up a lot of his flow stats in this particular project. I think it was something that DZ influenced on too, just off of the way he was carrying it out. So it kind of felt like he kind of may have had a little more influence behind it, but even so, like great execution of this project. Nothing bad to say other than wish it would have been longer, man. 'Cause it was just yeah,
Yep.
instant
I
slide track.
so I agree with all that. I think Leo adapted well to what DZ put out on that one. And of course, DZ, he's going to come in every time with that smooth riding track, real wavy
Hmm.
vibes. Just comes off natural always. So definitely a top tier artist. Normally, of course, he'd be sitting here on screen with us, but yeah, I love what DZ does. And the more I hear of Leo, the more I enjoy what he's putting out as well.
Definitely.
I was really hoping DZ would be here tonight. I was gonna pick his brain a little bit about that contest that just wrapped up on Rap Chat with his name all over it.
Yeah.
So I was gonna see if maybe we get a little sneak peek inside as to what's going on
Who
with that
as
one.
to who
But
won?
yeah,
That would have
yeah.
been dope to hear
So
who won
it's man, it's all good. That'll give us a reason to go check out the site more and do a little digging,
for
listen to some
sure.
stuff as well coming out from there. But I know DZ's not here, but a big congrats to DZ once again for being able to host that. So that's
Yeah,
big.
it really is. Says something about all the work he's been putting in on Rap Chat to the work he's just been doing overall. Very creative individual when it comes to the music. I just I said it when I first encountered DZ back in the beat of the weekdays when me and him kind of first like came across each other's paths. Like I said, man, that's something special about DZ. And I don't think I've probably said this to him at least once before, but just knowing him, is a really really special thing, man, because you don't get a flow style that just kicks off such a unique sound the way you get when you listen to a DZ Marquis song, because man, it's not many people out here that's pulling off what he got going on. So
Yeah,
definitely big ups to what DZ's doing. I love it. Keep going, brother. Wherever you're doing right now, man, just keep going with it, bro. Just keep going.
absolutely. All right, well, PZ, we got one more track this week. Um, one that I told you I'd be bringing in. So this is
Yes, sir.
Mr. Jygons, aka PZ, featuring Mr. Boy and Killer Collab. Instrumentals produced by Shark City Productions, and this is your track titled "Hard as We."
Yeah,
So let's
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 get
get
it.
it, man. There it is. Uh, PZ, you wanna give us a little insight into that track, man?
Okay. So yeah, like once listen. So I much love to my man Shark City for the production, man. 'Cause that's really what inspired this track. I was just digging through some instrumentals that he had um in the catalog, and I was just like, yo, what am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? I kind of was just getting inspired into like wanting to put out something else at this time, and I literally dropped the verse on there and was sitting down to kind of like reflect on what I should do next from that verse. And within like the hour, by the time I jumped back on to go back to the project, thinking that, oh, I'm gonna put this hook on here real quick. Boom, Mr. Boy, shout out to him. You know what I'm saying? He came through in the clutch and just carried on with it. Boom, he just ran it through to. I got to the point where I could add that verse. I got the chorus on. I was like, yeah, this is it. This is dope. And then it was so unique how the whole thing came together because we probably finished this track in like 2 days. Like literally one of the fastest tracks that I've had finished and ready to go that I've ever done. I think I've done pretty fast on tracks, as far as completions, coming and bringing them to full completion. But the way that this one turned out, this one by far was probably the fastest track that I've gotten together. Shout out to Killer Collab on that last verse. He just really like rounded it all up and brought it all back into the fold. Because I mean, it was like the elements about with those two guys. I've had other tracks that I've done with them, but never on like the same project. So definitely a dope concept together. You know what I'm saying? These were three of Shark City's dopest MCs on the track. You know what I mean, in that band. So like when it comes to like connectivity, we definitely have some of the same premises and stuff. So I really like how they come down and cater a track. They really take the time to connect with it. You know what I'm saying? So whereas everybody else is kind of like just floating in the wind there when you put them on the track. Some people like to freestyle. They kind of give more of a talking, spoken word sort of feel to a track rather than just a lyrical deliverance over a melody and beat. You know what I mean? Like other artists do. But that's the thing that I think really just brought it all together, and then they really just stayed on task. I think that was one of the biggest things with me because I'm always big about if I'm gonna start something a certain way, I'm gonna expect everybody else that's gonna come behind me or in connection with this project to be on the same level, if not at least in subject matter. You know what I mean? If nowhere else. So I appreciate these guys, Shark City, and the way they put together. So like I'm really thankful that you know when all else fails, artists like Killer Collab, Mr. Boy, along with a few other guys in the Shark Infested Waters band and everything, we kind of can click together connectively put some stuff together. So it was just well put together, well put together track for something that came in such you know what I mean speed, I should say, as it goes. But I'm being that's about all I could say. Really, it's just like I didn't I wasn't expecting the two brothers to jump on as they did, but when they did, they carried out the mission all the way to the end. So I appreciate it.
Yeah. Yes, that's definitely an enjoyable track. Right off the bat, when you would first send it over my way and I clicked on it, first thing that caught my attention was that bass on that beat, man.
Hmm.
That's some nasty bass. So I haven't heard that on like a legit system, but I can imagine that that would rumble some glass. So
Oh yeah,
uh Shark City definitely knew what was going on when they made that one. Um
definitely.
and then yeah, you started that track off coming in, hitting your style. I love your style, man. Every track you do, you know, you're going to come in. You have a lot of versatility as well when it comes to how you hit it. But I love
True.
when you come in with those quick switch ups, like almost chopper esque, you know, coming in, hitting it. Loved how articulate you were on that one with that delivery. Just definitely a dope verse from you there, and you set the pace. And then when Mr. Boy came in, I thought he matched you well. Uh,
Yeah,
on a follow up
definitely.
there, loved what he did with his delivery, and so I got no complaints for him. Killer collab out of the three, I think was my least favorite on that one. Which
Right.
it wasn't a bad verse from him by any means, but that one, um, I think just the beginning when he came in, you know, was sort of a little slow paced compared to what you and Mr. Boy had done. So
I agree.
maybe it's just my expectation there, you know, like coming off
No,
your fire
I,
verse.
you know, it's funny. I'll tell you something later after you give your critique of this, because I'll let you know exactly why it was paced out on his version, or on his verse, rather than almost trying to keep up with us or in sync. So yeah, definitely. But yeah, it was
So
crazy how what he told me when we first after he finished the verse. Is, he hit me. He's like, "Yo, go check on that. Let me know what you think about it." I was like, I heard it. I liked it actually, and the reason why I said I liked it because I like how he came in and then he kind of talked the into it, and then he kind of built up the what is it called there? The ascension to professions or whatever. Sort of like he kind of just ran you from the dead space to a build up more or less. And then he kind of just went in with his fast flow to kind of like end it off. But
that's
one
a
of
that
the
so that's something I was going to touch on as well. Was sort of that build up to about halfway through his verse. He ended up picking up that tempo, came right back
mhm,
to what I would say the level that you had kicked off on that track, and Mr. Boy followed up with. He did end up coming right back there, hit that same energy level that I was hoping to hear on that. And of course,
mhm,
your hook. Love how you cut out to have their names get thrown in there.
yeah.
I thought that was a nice little switch of little variety coming through on that hook. So that was pretty clever. Like how you pulled that one off as well, man.
Oh yeah. So the crazy thing about Killer's part, like, okay, so this was something that he had explained to me later, after the fact. He's like, man, I got into it with somebody, they busted his jaw or whatever, and he had just, he's still healing up from the verse, so like that kind of to me explained why he came in a little slower, and he kind of just waited. He kind of just built up his verse until he got to the point where he was comfortable spitting it like that. Cause I mean, I probably would too if somebody bust my, bust me in the face. Like I would be a little bit like I probably wouldn't even write a verse at that. I probably wouldn't even spit a verse at that point. I probably be just sitting there trying to, baby my jaw at this point, make sure that I don't, like I don't hit my jaw, I don't hit the shit, or because sometimes I got one of the, I guess I got an underbite, so that kind of happens. Sometimes I'll bite the lower end of my jaw or the gad, what I mean, the inside of my, cheek and shit. That shit hurts even worse. So imagine get hit in the face and, you kind of swole and you trying to rap, you know what I mean? So, but shout out to Killer for toughing it out, man, because, and then with the chorus, like, it's funny because like I had been like the reason why I initially left from like carved out for somebody to fill in the spots. Was I was gonna actually have each artist, Mr. Boy and Killer, put their names in there. Well, time went on. That's why it took 2 days, because by day two, everybody was moving had moved on to other projects. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna manage to finish. I'm gonna just finish this track. I'm gonna just go ahead and finish this track because I really wanted to get it out there to people. I wanted people to hear it. So I mean, and look what happened. It was a small task. I didn't expect anything from it. I kind of, wanted to see where it would have went had it had its, complete efforts put in. But hey, it was still a dope track overall. It was definitely something I vibed to. I played it like maybe at least 4 different times after. And I'm still playing it actually on replay pretty much every time after off screen. So y'all just it's coming down to a point now where I'm just gonna work down on the mix, and we're gonna take that to a whole nother level. We might see that streaming all over the place soon. So
There you go. So speaking of streaming, I know we got the First Class EP that's out on all streaming platforms coming out of the Dojo camp. I know there's more to come there. So I'm excited about that. You and myself have two tracks that we're in the final stages of being able to release. So I'm
yeah,
excited to get those
yeah,
ones out there as well. Um,
definitely,
just nonstop grinding constantly.
absolutely.
So uh,
I can't wait to see what comes out of this other track that I'm doing with God Divine, man. 'Cause, I know he's been on his little spiritual journey with his meditations and you know training and stuff. So I'm given the space and time needed mentally, collected thoughts and all of that good stuff. So for me, I just feel like that's gonna be a good track as well. So that'll be one of the third ones. Plus, it's so much more that we got coming, especially with the dojo, because we're just constantly putting stuff together every 2 days, a week. They come up with new beats, and they be so inspirational enough to where we could just jump on there and do what we do best, man. So I can't help that part. Shout out to JoJo and DIP, man. They do their thing Tuesdays and Fridays. If you don't know, check them out. Definitely.
okay, well that's our show for the night, man. Made it through the music, ran a little bit over time wise. I'm completely fine with that though. But we're gonna go ahead and wrap it up here. You have any parting words of wisdom or anything you want to throw out before we sign off?
Oh man, you know what? I'm gonna go to something that I'm pretty sure I've heard. A lot of people say, don't give up on your dreams. Always be willing to shoot it out to the last minute. You know what I mean? Um, and stick with it. You know what I'm saying? If you notice that you're not, don't feel like you're going anywhere, or you're just spinning your wheels, look back for a minute, just for the second. Look back for the second and see where you see who's following you, because I guarantee you, there's a few people there. You know what I'm saying? People that you never notice, and it takes you having to do that sometimes in order for you to understand. You know what I mean? What the journey is for. It takes having to take a journey to know what you're worth to the journey. You see what I'm saying?
And
So
speaking of journeys, it's a easy transition, so I appreciate that, man. Be on the lookout for DJ Journey and Trey Rail, also coming out of the Vibe Stream Network camp. Um, those guys work hard behind the scenes, a lot of stuff going on, as well as our dude Tiz. So I know they've been working hard, getting stuff taken care of. Big things coming from that camp. So I know I've been talking about
sure.
it, but I will keep people informed as much as possible when it comes to stuff that's ready to launch, stuff that's coming out, other things that are happening. So definitely stay tuned. I'm excited to be able to announce some of this stuff once it's ready to go. So shout out DJ Journey, Trey Real for giving us the opportunity to be able to have this show on the Vibe Stream Network. great things to come. So much love to them. Peasy, much love to you, man. I appreciate you coming through tonight again.
Anytime,
Say it's
anytime, brother.
always an honor being on screen with you, dude.
Yeah,
Um,
same here, bro. Same here.
I appreciate that. And shout out to the people that joined us live tonight in the chat. I know JoJo stopped through, repping the dojo. Luz came in, joined us in the chat this week. Which, if you didn't know, she's usually, I believe, tuning in, not necessarily able to join in the chat, but
Hmm.
I see your name over there constantly, so I appreciate that immensely. So,
Yeah,
much love to you. Madman stopped in as well this week, joined us briefly in the chat. So, shout out to Madman, as well as anyone else that joined us and didn't hop in the chat. Appreciate that. And anyone going back, rewatching the show. Um, we air live on Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook, and you can always go back and rewatch episodes as well. So, um, yeah, much love to each and every one of you, and that's what I got for this week. So, PZ, again, big shout out to you. Appreciate you joining.
yeah, man. You already know, bro. Same, like I said, anytime, man. And one more for the road. I bite.
Peace.
Peace.